Hello ladies and gentlemen, and I'm back from swimming with the fishes, and we're here with an AEW Dynamite review. Day 3 of AEW Fyter Fest, so let's get started with the first match, Brodie King versus Darby Allin. This match surprised me mainly because the way they're booking Brodie King, they're booking him pretty strong. You know, like this whole match was him ragdolling Darby Allin. And Darby Allin, yes, of course, did have a couple of hope spots, but the majority of the time was getting ragdolled by Brodie King. Brodie King was dominant of this whole match. He even did that one submission hold he did at Rampage where he knocked him out with the sleeper hold and threw him out. He did the exact same thing. So apparently they're booking Brodie King to be this amazing, like, big monstrous monster. You know, he's like a member. They're probably booking him as Malachi Black's like monster. You know, you have to get through him if you want to get through Malachi Black, and I think that's what they're doing. I have a prediction, but let's go through the match. The match was pretty good. As I said, it was mostly Brodie King ragdolling Darby Allin. I didn't expect anything wild or anything of importance in this match. I literally thought it was just Darby Allin getting his win back from a couple of weeks ago, because he did get power bombed like outside of AEW, like in a interview or live event he was doing, I think in a Hot Topic, of course, and he gets power bombed by Brodie King. I know it was staged, but I thought it was just Darby Allin and Brodie King having a little spat and it's gonna end. But I feel like the purpose of this is to have a 3-on-3 match at All Out. Think about it. When you think about this match, what happens in it with Sting coming in and getting basically attacked when Malachi Black comes in to even out the odds, because Sting was getting into Brodie King. In comes in Miro, and Miro has a problem with Malachi Black after he basically made him lose the match at AEW Forbidden Door when he was going to win that All Atlantic Championship. So this is pretty good booking. It makes sense. Miro is conflicted on whether he should join Malachi Black's House of Black or whether he should just stay by himself and redeem whatever he wants to, you know? And I wonder if it's just gonna play around and he's gonna, I don't know, mess with Malachi Black and ruin anything the House of Black wants to do with Sting and Darby. I'm thinking it's gonna be Sting, Darby, and Miro versus Malachi Black, Brodie King, and Buddy Matthews. That's basically a good 6-man tag, I could already tell. It has good talent with both sides. Sting, of course, brings in the star power, but I think this is what we're gonna get in AEW All Out in like August, so that's what I'm thinking. Again, this is just a prediction. We could have Miro turning heel again because he's kind of a tweener when he came back, because people like Miro and they wanted him back. So maybe Miro's gonna be like a tweener where if you like him, that's good. If you don't like him, it doesn't matter because he cares only about himself. That's what I'm getting with this match. So after that, Miro comes in, you know, kind of saves Darby Allin, but he just stops the attack that Malachi Black and Brodie King were gonna do to Sting and Darby Allin. So again, we don't know what happens with this situation with the House of Black, of course. After that, we get a interview with Cole Carter, who originally was Tony Two Dimes in NXT. They brought him in because apparently Tony D'Angelo said Tony Two Dimes basically failed me, so he's sleeping with the fishes, saying that he killed him. And AEW just brought him in because, you know, after he's sleeping with the fishes, he was able to survive, and now he's going one-on-one with the big shark, aka Ricky Starks. So we have that basically going on. I wonder if he's just doing a one-night appearance or if he's gonna be signed. I'll talk about it later, but, you know, it'll be interesting to see if, you know, AEW is still interested in signing some of the NXT talent that left, and they're just, you know, letting them do their own thing and eyeing whoever they see as potential. That because those that leave NXT are mostly from the Performance Center. Like they said, he only has 2 years of experience, but again, we'll see later on. But right now, we're talking about Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley versus the Best Friends. I thought this match was going to be a little bit boring, but it surprised me. It was a pretty good match. Wheeler Yuta was, of course, the star of the show. Everybody likes him. He, of course, had a couple of problems with Chuck Taylor, I forgot his name, and Trent Beretta. You know, of course, they're talking about how Wheeler Yuta just left the Best Friends to go to the Blackpool Combat Club. William Regal was defending it, saying that, hey, if you were in his position as a newbie, you would take it. Orange Cassidy is salty, basically, so maybe he's a little, you know, little lemon Cassidy, because he's a little salty sour or what happened. This is a good match. Wheeler Yuta was the star of the show for this match. Jon Moxley basically came in as the equalizer to take down both of them so Wheeler Yuta can get a break. He is the bigger star, so it kind of makes sense why he was almost taking both of them at the same time, but Wheeler Yuta was able able to win with a type of roll-up. Orange Cassidy got mad and said, well, we taught him that. And that's how the match ends. Again, it's to build up Wheeler Yuda. And in the process of the match, we got Daniel Garcia eyeing him up, looking at the match, seeing what he's going to do later on in the week, because Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor is coming out. I'll probably watch that show and do a little review, but at the time the show is airing, it's my grandma's birthday, so I don't even know if I have time to review it. But I'll do my best because I am really interested through the whole card. It looks one of the best cards that Ring of Honor has had, especially with the star power that is given. After that, we get Swerve and Our Glory celebrating their AEW tag title win that they got last week after beating the Young Bucks and Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Stark. So they're over there celebrating, you know, Swerve Strickland got that swag. Keith Lee has the drip. I like his Itachi sweater that he had. But in comes in Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese, the premier athlete. They come in and say that they want Swerve Strickland out of here. They're still salty about that Rampage Battle Royale, and they're talking about you can't trust Swerve Strickland. He's gonna swerve you. Keith Lee's like, you know what he did at that Battle Royale, that's your business. Right now we're celebrating. He then comes in and talks to the rapper that was there. I forgot his name, so sorry about that. Ethan Gate, I think it is. But he comes in. Smart Mark Sterling says, here, sign it. You know, you can't trust Swerve Strickland. He's like, nah, you can't do that. But then Sterling gets in the rapper's head. He's like, oh, hell nah. Punches Tony Nese in the head, or the jaw, I guess. Sorry about that. In the jaw. And Smart Mark Sterling gets hit with a cake that they were going to use to celebrate. So that ruins their surprise. After that celebration, we had the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver talking about the Butcher and the Blade. They show that they have t-shirts called Butch because, you know, he's a big guy. The Butcher's like, oh, hell no. And they start beating up those two. Hangman Adam Page comes in for this save and says, hey, what the fuck was wrong with you guys? Leave. After they decimated him, he's like, hey, are you alright? I was like, nah, he's perfectly good, as you can see. But that's gonna be a match for AEW Rampage, where I hopefully review that one, where it's gonna be Adam Page and John Silver versus the Butcher and the Blade. We'll see how that is. I wonder what storyline Adam Page is gonna do, because he hasn't done anything since he lost the title. Well, not since he lost the title, since the Forbidden Door. He has done shit, so we'll see what Adam Page does after that rivalry, I guess. Christian Cage and Luchosaurus fights the Varsity Blondes. Luchosaurus basically destroys the Blondes. There was nothing. Christian Cage tags himself in and goes for the pin. Christian Cage and Luchosaurus win, but in comes in Jungle Boy. He finally returns after being injured at Road Rage a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, you know, I'm ready for my revenge. Christian Cage sends in Luchosaurus to go attack Jungle Boy, but it seems Luchosaurus is in Jungle Boy's corner as he allows him to take on Christian Cage. Christian Cage says, oh hell nah, and runs up through the rafters where the, you know, the audience is. Jungle Boy tries to catch him but fails. So it seems we're done with the Luchosaurus experiment. I'm kind of sad because I really liked heel Luchosaurus. I honestly thought they were going to do Luchosaurus versus Jungle Boy in a special AEW Dynamite event, and once he defeats Luchosaurus and, I don't know, converts him back into his original self where he's good, he finally goes in one-on-one with Christian Cage at All Out. But it seems we don't have that. Sorry about that. We don't have that match. I don't know how to feel because I really like Christian Cage and Luchosaurus. I was getting behind that. I thought it was good because Christian Cage is, you know, the smarmy heel. He's over there saying whatever he wants, and he has the big monster Luchosaurus to basically protect him if he gets out of hand and someone wants to, you know, speak up. But yeah, I guess that whole experiment's done, you know. That kind of sucks. I wonder what they're gonna do now. That's the interesting part, but it's probably gonna be something weird. After that, we got the Gun Club talking about the Acclaim, saying that they were snipping them out because they're the weak links. And in Rampage, they're gonna challenge Max Caster for a rap battle. So now I definitely want to review Rampage because I want to see the bars that AEW has, you know, Max Caster has for the Gun Club. We'll see how it is. After that, we get Cole Carter, aka Tony Two Dimes versus Ricky Starks. Of course, we all know Ricky Starks is gonna win. So Ricky Starks does win after hitting the spear and goes for the 1, 2, 3. He wins and then says, you know what, I challenge anyone next week. Whoever comes in, I'll challenge you. here right now, and in comes in Danhausen. So Danhausen challenges Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks says, I would fight you in Atlanta, but my neck, it hurts. It still hasn't recovered. He uses that as an excuse. The people of Atlanta, they booed him, and they're like, hey, shut up. You can still see it on TV, which made them boo even louder. But yeah, we're getting Danhausen versus Ricky Starks. The only reason I want Danhausen to win this match is if Hook comes in and helps Danhausen win the title, and after that he beats the shit out of Danhausen, and the only reason he formed a connection was to basically get that title away from Ricky Starks, because he doesn't want to challenge him, because he doesn't want to confront someone from Team Taz, because they're buddy, and maybe it's a big brain move for Hook. You go after Ricky Starks so we don't have this dissension in the ranks, and I'll get that title back back in Team Taz. But I'm gonna play with Danhausen, who's this dumbass, thinks he can curse anyone, and I don't give a shit. I'm gonna beat his ass, beat him for the title. That's the only reason I would allow Danhausen to get that W. If not, then if he wins it and nothing happens and they're still tag teaming Danhausen and Hook, then I'm gonna be fucking mad. I'm gonna be fucking mad. But anyways, after that we get a promo with the FTR. FTR says, we're here, we're ready for the Briscoes. 2 out of 3 falls for the Ring of Honor Tag Championship. Dax Harwood hits a really hard hitting promo about his little girl, how this 8-year-old little girl is gonna beat up Briscoes at Ring of Honor. It's a really good promo, hits you in the heart, really passionate promo by the top guys. After that we get a promo as Jay Lethal is talking about how Samoa Joe, he's like avoiding him, he's afraid that he's gonna beat him at Death Before Dishonor for the TV title. In comes in Christopher Daniels, says he's not afraid, he just doesn't want to mess with you. He wants to prepare himself for Death Before Dishonor so he could destroy you. And we're gonna get Jay Lethal versus Christopher Daniels. Now I really want to see Rampage because it's basically a whole build up for Ring of Honor. So we have that. Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan take on Athena and Willow Nightingale. I thought this match was gonna be it was gonna be alright, but this was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Athena still has it. Willow Nightingale is a pleasant surprise. Kiera Hogan did her job, and for the things that Jade Cargill can do, they're passable. She can't do some of the basic stuff like punching, because I think she's afraid she might hurt, because she is the tallest and the strongest out of all of the women's roster, to be honest. But her power slams and her moves, they're incredible. They're crisp, so she has it. Jade Cargill is able to get the win after hitting her finisher to Willow Nightingale. There was a rapper with Stokely Hathaway. Originally it was a 6-woman tag, as you can see, but Layla Gray, I don't know what happened, maybe she got injured or she couldn't arrive, so they just said that. And Stokely Hathaway said, I'm gonna ban Chris Statlander so she doesn't come to ringside. She's banned for this day, she can't come over here even though her friends are endangered. So we have that to, I guess, build upon. I don't know what happened. If I was Jade Cargill, I'll be like, what, you're useless, out of here. But they're gonna do an excuse that she was doing like some dirty work for Stokely Hathaway. After that we get some matches and stuff for next week. Fight for the Fallen, we get Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa talking about that match that's coming up against Yamashita. I forgot her name, but yeah, that's gonna be a match for the AEW women's title. Apparently Yamashita beat Thunder Rosa for the chance to fight her at Fight for the Fallen, so we're gonna have that match. In comes in Britt Baker to steal the spotlight because she had nothing to do. She's like, I'm that bitch, I'm a sandbag, I'm bored. The people want Britt Baker. I don't like Britt Baker. I want her out of my screen. Just get me more Jamie Hayter and I'm good. But after that we got Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston, barbed wire death match with the shark cage, putting all of the Jericho association, I was about to say the Jericho Association, Jericho Association Society, Appreciation Society, the JAS basically. And Eddie Kingston, he was just walloping on Chris Jericho. This was his match. He wanted to see Chris Jericho bleed, and that's what he beat the shit out of Chris Jericho. This was a good match, but then in comes in fucking Ty Conti to ruin this. She beats up, what was her name? Ruby Soho. I forgot her name. Ruby Soho. I literally just saw the show. Ruby Soho attacks her. No, Ty Conti attacks Ruby Soho. In comes in Anna Jay saying, what are you doing? You can't do that. And then she joins in and beats beats Ruby Soho. So it seems Anna Jay has joined Ty Conti. Unless there's a women's tag team title belt being made, I don't see what's the point of them being together. I kind of want to see it, not gonna lie, a women's tag title belt, because I feel like AEW can do such a better job with it than WWE, for an example. I mean, you literally saw what happened in NXT where fucking what's her name, Cora Jade, just threw it in the garbage. I know it's meant for storyline purposes, but in a nutshell, that's what it meant for the WWE. They didn't really care for the women's tag titles. They only created it because at that time the women's roster was so inflated that they needed something for the women to do, and they had groups like the Iconics just being there doing nothing. So of course they created the title. But coming back to AEW, this match, Chris Jericho was able to get his goons out of the shark cage. I think Ty Conti couldn't take out the lock, sir. It took her a while to get it unlocked. So Daniel Garcia and the cool guy, Cool Hand Luke, whatever his name is, comes in. They escape. They just slid out because they're skinny enough to do that, and they attack Eddie Kingston. In comes in Cesaro, aka Claudio, Ortiz, Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley to even out and make sure they get out of the way. But Jericho is able to get help from Sammy Guevara, who is back after basically being destroyed from the blood and guts match when he was thrown up, off the steel cage. So he's back, and they were able to get Jericho the W. So Chris Jericho wins this match, but Eddie Kingston is able to get retribution as he throws Chris Jericho in a big bed of wires. So it still seems we're still getting the Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston match. I literally thought this was the end, but it seems that we're getting this storyline up to probably All Out. That's probably what we're getting. That has to be it, right? Eddie Kingston finally gets the W at All Out. Hopefully this is it, because I'm kind of getting bored of that. I want to see Eddie Kingston do something else. I'm tired of Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston. I understand the feud, and Daniel Garcia is feuding against Wheeler Yuta. John Moxley is the world championship, but it makes sense for Chris Jericho to go against John Moxley. Wouldn't he want a chance at the title? Why is he still feuding with Eddie Kingston? Eddie Kingston, I understand, is mad, but Chris Jericho should be like, no, Eddie Kingston, I'm done with you. I already beat you. But what I want is that interim AEW world title. So once I get it and win it, I could face CM Punk and become a 2-time AEW world champion. But I don't know. We're probably just gonna get, back and forth again, and until All Out, this thing isn't gonna be solved, So that's basically it. That's my review. It's a little long, but I had some stuff to say. Some videos are coming out, wrestling related, of course, but there are some videos in the making that aren't wrestling related. So if you don't like wrestling or are bored of that, stay tuned, because it's gonna be something special, So that's it. See ya.